How's it going? It's been like a month since I filmed a podcast, and that's because I haven't held myself accountable enough. I've told myself, yeah, I'm going to upload a podcast, I'm going to work on it, I'm going to get it done, but it ultimately has not happened, and I'll catch you guys up on the past month. But before then, welcome to episode 8 of the ADHD podcast. I'm your host, I'm Matthew. I'm currently working on getting more guests, and I have a few people in mind, and I have a few people in the works, but we're just trying to figure out our schedules at the moment. So you guys will see people soon. I'm trying to get Enrique on here because I know Enrique and I have some great stories that you guys would enjoy. So yeah, I'll get into the first thing, which is what I talked about in the intro. Accountability. I've not held myself accountable enough to make this podcast happen, so therefore it has not happened. I've been pretty busy, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse to say I don't have time for a podcast. I haven't put in the work. I've wanted to, but I didn't know what direction I want to take a podcast because honestly at this point in my life I don't have a clear sense of direction, and that's something I'm working on. And I know not everything will happen overnight, but I kind of want it to. It's a feeling of like wanting to go somewhere but not knowing where to go. And you can't expect yourself to go somewhere if you don't know your destination. It's like getting in an Uber and saying, I don't know where to go, just take me somewhere, and expecting to go to a place that you want to go to. The driver would say, like, bro, what the hell? Like, why would you do that? Unless he's like a cool driver and he wants to take you to a cool place. Maybe you guys are like-minded and end up in the same place, but that's really only if you get lucky. You're not holding yourself accountable to know your destination. You're not holding yourself accountable to have a clear decision. So that's something I've been working on, and I don't know why I didn't share that with you guys. I don't know why I didn't decide to film a podcast and just talk about it. I kind of wish I did, though, because I don't have very much like footage of me just talking. The past week has been just school. It was my first week of high school, which is kind of crazy to think about. Last thing I knew, I was a 7th grader talking about how we wanted to have a podcast, which is crazy. If you guys don't know, this podcast has been like 3 years in the making, and that goes into accountability again. I didn't hold myself accountable because I didn't know what accountability was like 2 years ago. The past year has really been just growing for me, growing as a person, growing as a family with my family, growing as friends with friends, growing with relationship partners if I have one. I'll get into that a little bit, but I just got done with the Create Your Reality workshop. It's like an introduction workshop before you can actually buy the full access workshop. You guys have probably seen this guy on TikTok. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'll put it right here. Alex Sedelic. I don't know how to say it. Editing Matt's guess is Sedlak. I've always tried to create my own version of my reality. I've always tried to create something that I want to do, and I started journaling recently, and that's what this is. This is my journal. On the back, it says, Create Your Reality, because this is meant to create my reality. And on the front, it says, Matthew's plans to take over the world. I found just within like 2 weeks of journaling, I have grown a lot. I have come to a lot of conclusions that I didn't know how to come to that have just been stuck in my head, and it's making manifesting things easier. I can see the manifestations working a little bit, and the past week has been a very unfortunate week for my luck. I had to dance with a girl that everyone thought I was with at one point this year, so I had to deal with the repercussions of rumors and a whole bunch of other things about me and her. One of those repercussions was getting like shipped with her, and then I didn't know how to handle it because of something else I'll get into later in this podcast. I didn't know necessarily how to handle it, and I'm still coming to terms with it because not everything happens overnight, obviously. So I'm handling it better, but I'm still not perfectly handling it. I'm still trying to figure out a complete conclusion. Okay, so the day before that, I broke my skateboard deck, which just means I have to buy another deck. I got mad and focused it yeah, I was trying to land a varial flip, and it made me mad. And Bobby told me, "You won't focus it right now, like no balls." And then I did it. So that's on my wall now. I liked that board, but there's a lot of things that kind of made me mad about it. So maybe it's a good thing. It's broken. Uh, what happened after that? I had a TikTok made about me. That wasn't that bad though. It's just a TikTok, but there was repercussions with that. Other people's opinions, other people's repercussions that I just frankly did not want to deal with. But once again, coming to terms with that. I then broke my phone. I'll show you guys this. Just the back of my phone though. Like I only broke the back. Like that's a good angle. You can see all of that. The whole back is just entirely broken. I went skating on Ransom's board because Ransom told me I could take his board home from the day I broke my board. So I was skating Ransom's board, and I set my phone down while I was skating because it was dying. And then I picked it up, and I skated home. I come home, I laid out on my bed for a minute, charged my phone because I was at like 2%. And I always listen to music in the shower, just like any other human being. It makes my showers entertaining, and depending on what song I'm thinking about, it makes me think about different things. So there's a shelf in my shower, and I put my phone on the shelf in the shower, and I'm playing my music, I'm listening to it. I get out of the shower, and I pick up my phone, and I look at the back, because there's sometimes water in between my case and my phone, and if I don't take it out, then it gets into the charging port, and I can't charge my phone. I look at the back, and it's just completely cracked. I don't know how I did it. I didn't drop it. I didn't land on it. It wasn't in my pocket while I was skating. It was just sitting on the ground, and no one else was there. I was the only one skating. I was the only one there. Um, yeah, so that happened. And then I go to AT&T the next day to get a new phone. They have to ship me my phone, and I got locked out of my bank account in the same day. I get my bank account back. They ship me my phone, which is coming in the mail at the moment. And then a person of my past that kind of fueled this podcast a little bit ended up texting me, and it's just one text. I'm not worried about it, but it's the fact that someone from my past is coming back and made me clear about my intentions of where I want to go, or more clear. I haven't had very much like sense of clarity over the past few months, for personal reasons. I might get into that a little bit and explain to you guys how you can gain clarity from the ways that I've gained clarity. I then went skating last night, and I really messed up my ankle. It was the same spot I was skating a few days ago. I texted the group chat that we have with all the boys in it. I said, "Do you guys ever have that feeling that just feels like something is going to go wrong?" And everyone said, "Yeah." And I said, "That's the only feeling I have right now." And then Dresden said, "Listen to Dark Red by Steve Lacy." He says, the opening line is, "Something bad is about to happen to me." And by the end of that song, I had completely messed up my ankle. It's all on the way you think. That's what my conclusion of the past week is. If you think positively, positive things will come. If you think negatively, negative things will come. And that's something I wrote down in my journal. A lot of people would say like that's a form of like a diary, but I wouldn't call it that. But it's a place where I can organize my thoughts. I can write things down. I can make lists of things I need to do, and hold myself accountable for different things. So what I see it as is just another tool. Just like this camera, just like this microphone, just like this computer, just like my broken phone. They're all tools. Your mind is a tool. Your mindset is the operating system of that tool. And that's something I learned in the workshop that I was in a little bit ago, is that your mind is the operating system of your world. And that if you are not set on one thing and you don't have clear intentions, your manifestations will morph into different things. Because your mind is your connection to the earth. And through that is how you end up with different things in your life. So if you are not clear with what you are thinking, then the world will pick that up as you want that thing. So if you're thinking about something of your past that you don't want back, but you don't emphasize that you don't want it back, that thing will end up back in your life. And that's a perfect example. Like someone from my past texting me. I have thought about that person a lot recently because they had family issues that I heard about, and I was just wondering where they would go, but not necessarily wanting them to come back to me, because I feel like I've grown a lot without them in my life, and I feel like I'm better off without them. So I accidentally manifested someone. It happens. I have accidentally manifested a lot of things. I feel like I accidentally manifested my phone breaking or my board breaking, all this unfortunate stuff, because I was thinking in a very negative way. So when I switched my mindset like halfway through my week for part of a day, and I was just thinking positively, it was the most positive part of my week. But right after that, I slipped into a negative mindset again. Mindset changes can happen a lot. I've noticed that I'm kind of a bipolar person. You can deal with that in different ways, but I've noticed that I can be. I wouldn't necessarily have like bipolar. I don't know the correct term, like bipolar depression, or something. I've noticed that I have like a kind of bipolar personality. I I can act completely different at two different times. I think it's because I can reciprocate energy pretty well. Um, that's something I've noticed about myself. I can reciprocate energy really easily. If you're coming to me positively, I'm going to talk to you back positively. But if you're coming to me negatively, I'm going to reciprocate negative energy. And when you're in an environment with like 500 kids, example a school, you end up with a little bit of everything. You end up with a lot of kids that don't know where they're going. You have the kids that have really good mindsets. You have the kids that are freshmen taking college classes. You have the kids that barely know how to read. And with all of those mixed together, it makes it so difficult to reciprocate energy correctly. Because 1 minute you can be reciprocating positive energy because someone said something positive to you. Someone could be eavesdropping and then say something negative. You reciprocate negative energy. Just learning how to control energy is a journey that I've been on for a while, and I don't know how long I'll be on it. I'll probably be on it forever. Whereas energy can change at any point. Energy really revolves around your situation. I'll get into the reasons why I was uncomfortable with the dancing thing, and the personal reasons why I haven't had very much clarity. I hinted at this in the last podcast episode when I was talking about missing people. I had missed a person a lot over my summer, and they probably know who they are. If you're listening to this podcast, thank you. If anyone I know is listening to this podcast that knows, y'all know what I'm talking about. And I didn't know how to quite come to terms with missing them because I think missing people is a terrible thing. But this enabled a mindset change that missing people is okay, but you can't let yourself get stuck in missing them. And that's what I projected in that podcast, because this podcast is an exact representation of my mind. And I cut out a lot of the stutters. I cut out a lot of the mess ups. But truly, this is a polished version of my mind. Like, so far, what I've done is a polished version of my mind through 7 episodes. 8 now. I've filmed multiple, but a lot of them haven't come out. I have like 3 or 4 unreleased episodes, and those are all episodes when I'm trying to talk about this, but I'm in different stages of the story, and I feel like the story is finally coming to an end, so I can base my conclusion on it. I had gone through a breakup at the start of the year, end of last year, and it carried in a lot into the start of this year, and it really formed my mindset on how this year is going to go. At the start, it was pretty negative, and then that was kind of the most negative part of my year, but after that, I had the mindset change of I can make this positive. I can seek positive. That's why my background on my computer says seek positive. Every single time I open my computer, I think you need to seek positive. You need to seek positivity in your life. So I had discussions about this in a few of my classes with someone, and naturally that led to a deeper connection. And once you don't have that connection after you get used to it being there, you end up missing that connection. This person kind of made me understand myself further a little bit, but I don't know if that was my mind opening up more to think about how we could relate, or opening up more to how do I start a conversation and make it intriguing. I I don't know which, and I don't know if I will ever know, or if I'll know in 20 years or in 20 minutes. Maybe I might come to a conclusion while I'm editing this podcast. Feelings naturally develop for people, and that's something I've learned, and that's something I'm willing to accept. They just naturally formed, and I expressed them, and I expressed them a lot. And then when that connection got taken away, it was a weird feeling, and I didn't quite know how to come to terms with it, and I didn't want to make a decision on where I was going to go, if I was going to keep going or move on. And I have just sat in this one place for so long just to test like the waters, and sitting in that time, it made me lose sense of direction on where I'm going with my intentions with this person and where I want to go with it. So recently I've come to the conclusion that I want to keep going, but I don't know if that'll be now. I might need to just work on myself now. And that's something I know you can do that with another person. A lot of people think that like I need to be single, I can't work on myself when I'm with someone, and that's completely okay if you think like that and you function like that. But personally, I feel like I can work on myself and be with someone. I could be completely wrong though. I've only ever been with one person, and it was a kind of dysfunctional relationship. So foreseeing that, it makes me think a lot, and it makes me think of where I could go and where I'm truly at. And I don't know how to completely come to terms with that, and I don't know how to completely work on that. So that'll be a journey that I will go through, and I will explain to you guys when it's over. But in the moment, it's a work in progress, just like everything else in my life and everything else in your life. I have 1,000 more things to say, but I don't know how to say them. That's a perfect representation of what my mind has been. Through all these classes and stuff I've been in and new environments, it makes me think a lot, but I don't know how to portray those thoughts in a way that everyone can understand. And still, I felt like that person was one of the people that could understand. I don't know, maybe I'm just coming to terms with things that will never exist. I would like to think I'm a very open-minded person. I'm kind of open to any opinion, and I will respect almost any opinion. If our opinions differ, we can agree to disagree, and that'll be completely okay. Alright, I'm going to get into more things that I've written down in this journal, and I can explain what journaling is, like why you should journal to you guys. If you guys are watching in the video form, thank you. You will get to fully see this. If you are listening on a streaming platform, I would recommend you guys go to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is just the Off ADHD podcast, and then skip to this point so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is my journal. I just showed it to you guys, and I'm going to explain one of the thoughts in it, but for that I need to set the mic down, so the audio is going to change a little bit. Alright, so I'll get into, let's just go to a random page. I think this was today. Yeah, I wrote this down today. I do not identify with that thought because it was subconscious. Not me consciously thinking that. That was a tweet from Alex, the guy I talked about earlier. And this is talking about like manifestation and how your subconscious mind will always be tapped into your normal mind. You will always have your subconscious feeding your conscious, I guess you could say. Like, you have your subconscious thoughts feed your conscious thoughts. Whatever you're subconsciously thinking about, it will be brung into your conscious mind if you are thinking about it more. So this is totally what I wrote. I do not identify with that thought because it was subconscious, not me consciously thinking that. I wish I found this out earlier because it would have helped with manifestation. Whatever you think your outcome will be, think/seek positivity, positive things will come. Think/seek negativity, negative things will happen. Sometimes you can't help the negative input in your mind. I've been learning a little about controlling my thoughts and outcomes. I can see it working some. Hopefully I learn how to completely control my mind and outcome. Nothing comes overnight though. That's just a quick thing I wrote this morning when I woke up. I woke up and I lay there and I was thinking about clarity and how I hope to find clarity soon. I did my manifestations for the day, and then I got in the shower and then I got out of the shower. I was eating, went on Twitter, and one of the only people I like check their Twitter is Alex, because I find his stuff giving me a lot of like food for thought, like things I can think about and things I can think of how do I apply those to my life. And that was pretty relevant. And another relevant thing is me seeing like astro numbers or angel numbers. I see myself seeing 333, 444, and I've seen 6666 a few times. 333 and 444 mean you are on the correct path, and I don't know which path in my life it is, because I do so many things. So that goes into clarity. I don't know which path I'm going correctly on. I don't know if it's YouTube, this podcast, my friendships, my personal relationships, my school, my thought in a journey on how to gain clarity. But I guess I'm doing something correctly, and only time will show me what I'm doing correctly. I just know that I have to keep going on the same path that I'm on at the moment. And and then 6666 means that like a conclusion is coming or something like that. There's a symbol of balance and order. You may be going through a period of imbalance. The angels will send this number your way, so that you can regain balance. Also, so the number comes into your life as a reminder of your responsibilities. I believe in like astrology and angel numbers and stuff to an extent. I don't necessarily believe that like birth signs completely affect your personality, and I don't think like those power stone stuffs like actually help. Like I don't think those stones will like give you clarity and make a whole bunch of things happen in your life. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm not open-minded enough, but I don't necessarily see that like working. I believe in the number things though, because I believe that your mind and the thoughts you project into words are your direct communication with the universe, and whatever you say and whatever you think is what will happen. Thoughts and words are very, very powerful. I think that the way the universe communicates back to you is through those numbers. That's the only thing I can think of. It's a lot of food for thought, I guess you could say. It just makes me think a lot of where I can go and how I can find clarity and everything involving that. Just what direction am I taking myself? Because if you don't know what direction you're taking yourself, how do you expect to get to that destination? And I talked about this in the intro. If you can't hold yourself accountable to take time to figure out your intentions and the direction you want to go, how do you expect to get there? And I'm thinking about that a lot. I'm hyper focusing on that thought all the time. On, am I going the correct direction? Am I doing things efficiently and successfully? Am I doing things too much or not enough? Just think about any possibility of where my life could go, and figuring out what I want and what I don't want. And I've noticed that like a lot of things in my life, I figured out what I don't like until I find things I like. You just pick the things out you don't like, and that'll eventually lead you to things you do like. Just as Balin Levine says, you have to be down to be up. You have to be like down in the dumps, eating shit to be up. I was thinking about all the people that were, I mean, not everyone has like a crazy come up story, but like thinking about a lot of people that are super successful. They were in a place where they were not successful and they wanted to be successful, so they made it happen. No matter how long that took, at some point they were down eating shit. Think about that. I'm going to talk about a recent like funny story, because I want to bring some humor into this podcast. It's just been a lot of thought, and I want to bring some laughter into here. So you guys know my friend Daniel. He was in episode like 4, I think. It'll be up in this corner. I have biology with Daniel, and we were in biology, and we were starting a project. But before we started our project, we had to know the rules. And one of the rules that we talked about was like safety and accountability. So we, the teacher's talking about safety, and me and Daniel are like half paying attention. We sit next to each other, but our desks are separated, so it's two people to a desk. It's me and my friend Sawyer at one desk, and then it's Daniel and our other friend Makai, at the other desk next to us. But Makai and Sawyer were gone for football. Uh, so our other friend Aiden sat next to me. So it's just Daniel at his desk. And to start working on the project, we have to put our desks together. So she tells us to put our desks together and starts talking about safety. It bothered Daniel that there was a gap in between our two desks. So I'm messing with Daniel, and I'm like putting my hand in between. So like this is the crack. I was putting my hand in between the two cracks of the desk. And as I put my hand in, Daniel shuts the gap, and my hand just gets squished. And the teacher looks at us, and we're just dying laughing because it was so funny. Well, it wasn't even that funny. It was just stupid. So it made it funny. And it was the fact that the whole class started laughing that made it to the point where I couldn't stop laughing. So the teacher looks at us, and she's like, "Why are all y'all laughing?" So we couldn't tell the teacher that I just got my hand slammed on the desk, or else she would be mad. So we just kept laughing. And then a kid said that my hand got smashed between a desk, and it was funny. And she said that's why you need to be accountable for your own actions, and that's why you need to be safe. Talking about football though, I ended up being a football manager. Like I'm starting to be a football manager next week. So I start that, and I guess I'll be with the boys. I don't know if the players have to get tested weekly. I don't know if I am part of that testing line. I probably will end up being because I'm with the team technically. I manage the team. I was with my friend Devin. Devin was someone that we actually made a cult around. I'll talk about that in a little bit. He walked up to the coach after school, and I was with Devin, and he jokingly said, "Do you guys need water boys for your team?" He said yes. So that's how we got a job. We just kind of shot our shot, I guess you could say, and we made it. So that's starting next week. I'll probably end up making vlogs on the main channel about that. Incorporate that and film that in some way. Just get involved. I know I'm filming the boys' highlight reels. That's happening. Their highlight reels are getting made by Matthew. I'm gonna be the best editor and best filmer out there. Like, they're gonna go D1 just because I filmed them. That's manifestation. If one of the boys don't go D1, I'm gonna be very, very sad. Well, actually, our school is like our school is Division 2. If one of y'all don't go D2, then I'll be sad. My meditations didn't work then. But I'll get into the story of how we accidentally made a cult surrounded around Devin. Me and my friend Buzz. Buzz is Sawyer, by the way. I'll probably end up referring to him as Buzz because that's what I referred to him in real life. Me and my friend Buzz were homies with Devin. Devin was pretty cool. We became friends with him in 6th grade, and then in 7th grade, we got put into advanced language arts with Devin. And Devin was just kind of, as TikTok would call Devin, he was like the popular loner. Everyone kind of knew Devin, but not a lot of people were close with Devin. Not a lot of people would call themselves friends with Devin. They just knew Devin and interacted with Devin all the time. So me and my friend Sawyer decided, hey, let's interact with Devin. Let's get Devin some friends. Let's have Devin be a more happy kid, because we thought Devin was kind of lonely. So our plan was to just start clapping and cheering on Devin every single time he got up in language arts. And for a year, it was just really, really awkward. It was just me and Buzz, and it was a joke with me, Buzz, and Devin. And then the teacher started picking up on it. The teacher would do it too. She would clap and like, yeah, Devin! Just the same thing that we were doing. And then our school has this thing called clubs. We got into the club that was like the hardest club to get into. Me, Sawyer, or Buzz, and Devin. And it was our first day. And for some reason, they put me in charge of, like, accounting for everyone. Like, being the person that checks that everyone's there. Essentially doing attendance. And just, like, keeping everyone controlled. They put me as that. Me being me, I decided to raise a crowd and raise a chant after we were done taking attendance and the teacher left. He would soon come back, but come back to a group of like 20 kids chanting, Devin, 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 because I said, hey, we gotta get Devin, his first win because he told us that he had never won a game of war ball. War ball is essentially dodgeball, but different. There's not like a whole bunch of balls. There's one ball, and you like throw it. And our middle school loved the game. Like, it was the most like iconic game of the school was war ball. So Devin said, I've never won a game of war ball. So my job was controlling the crowd of people. So I yelled, yo, we got to get Devin his first win. He's never won a game of war ball. And everyone started chanting, Devin. That's how we actually made a cult around Devin. And then that walked into almost our entire grade chanting for Devin. And our entire language arts class started clapping for Devin and like cheering Devin on in class. And then this led to the entire gym chanting for Devin when he got up at 8th grade graduation. Everyone was like, Devin! Go, Devin! Everyone was clapping. We confused all the parents and a few of the staff members. It was great. I wish I would have filmed more that day, but there was a lot of nerves on me because I ended up fully like explaining my feelings to the person I was talking about earlier, and I did a lot that day. I ended up singing. If you guys want to see that video, it'll be up here. It's a pretty great video. Shout out to Ricky for filming a lot of it. I think that'll be it. I've explained to you guys a lot of philosophy things. I've explained to you guys a lot of things that are going on in my life right now. So I feel like you guys have been caught up. So yeah, new video on the main channel on Wednesday. I'll catch you guys in the next video, or next podcast. Thank you. Don't forget to add this to your Spotify library or your iTunes library, or subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you guys are listening through Anchor, don't forget to give me feedback on the podcast on the voice memo thingy. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.